I used to get lonely at night since my girlfriend broke up with me. I'd lie awake in what could only be described as pitiful wallowing as I clutch my pillow to my chest and pretend I still have her sleeping in our old bed. It's even gotten to the point where my delusion makes me feel as if I have her right there in my arms, as I'll sometimes hear that cute little snore. I wish it were a dream. A few nights ago, I woke up to find I wasn't alone. My bedroom is a little larger than average, because when my ex and I were still living together, we needed the space for our large vanity desk, complete with drawers for my personal knickknacks and her jewelry. I still have it, as she couldn't find any space for it in her new place. And I couldn't sell it, as there was too much emotional investment in that cumbersome pile of wood and glass. Normally, the little chair in front of the vanity was empty, or when she still lived here, occupied by my ex, as it was her favorite spot to sit and read when she couldn't get comfy in bed. But this night, I saw something different. I figured it was my half-asleep state, playing tricks on me, but I could have sworn I saw the back of my ex facing me as she sat in the chair. It was dark enough that I couldn't see into the mirror, but enough light to know her shape and her favorite baggy t-shirt she wore to bed. I called her name and suddenly woke up to a rather late morning. My alarm somehow didn't wake me up, but it was set. I shrugged it off as I called my work and told them I was on the way. I returned later that night and really checked out the vanity. I turned on the lights that surrounded the mirror and looked at the chair, but didn't find a thing out of place. All my valuables were still in their places, and the seat itself hasn't seen an ass sitting in it for quite some time. Nothing out of the ordinary at all. Maybe it really was just a dream. I showered off the day of work and collapsed into bed, clutching my pillow to fight off yet another night of loneliness. But it happened that night too. I woke up and saw her sitting yet again at the vanity. This time I had a little more light, and I could faintly make out the shape of her face, only to see that it was not her. Not at all. What I saw almost made me scream. She had the exact same hair and the same shape of face as my ex, but the similarity ended there. The mouth was some twisted mockery of a human mouth, with what appeared to be fangs sneaking out behind torn lips. What should have been a normal nose was instead two small pits that leaked some grotesque liquid down her face, coating her fangs. But the eyes were the worst. Two red orbs, impossibly big for a human's face. It was like looking at one of those fish that live in caves with little to no light, where they evolved huge eyes in order to survive. This thing at first was just looking into the mirror at its own reflection, until it noticed my movements and locked eyes with me. The mouth of this monster twisted into a grin that would make any sane mind crack. I nearly lost it when it swiveled its head in one smooth motion, like an owl, and locked its eyes onto my own. This new confrontation of its features made my guts nearly heave out of my body, from disgust and horror. The skin on its face took on an eerie sheen as it opened its mouth and tried to form words. It took a few moments to figure out how to speak with its monstrous mouth, but the words came out in a voice so similar to that of my ex that I couldn't help but faint. I woke up screaming to yet again another day in full swing, and found I had slept late again. I was lucky I had the day off, but I was determined to get rid of that fucking vanity, as I was sure it was the cause of my recent nightmares. After a few phone calls and relocating some furniture in my house, I was able to get the vanity out of my room and into storage. I called my ex after it was all said and done, and she said she'd figure something out. I then started asking her if she had been having any weird dreams. Our friendship we had tried to establish after the breakup wasn't really great. I heard the annoyance in her voice as she told me she hasn't had any dreams for quite a while. Not wanting to push a dead conversation, I wished her luck with that vanity and hung up. Last night was the final straw for any shred of reality still clinging to me. The vanity was gone, and a big gaping space was all that remained of the cumbersome furniture. While feeling rather naked without the vanity occupying most of my room, I was excited to get some damn rest without these nightmares. I settled down into bed and did my lonely routine of clutching my pillow, and before I knew it, I was out. I woke up to that warm feeling, that feeling you get when someone is cuddling next to you. I was still groggy, and I realized that the form sleeping next to me was the same damn thing that had been sitting at the vanity for the last 2 nights. It laid there for a while, until it realized I was awake, I guess, and it did the same swiveling motion with its head, and locked eyes with me once more. Being up close and personal finally made me truly lose it. I screamed bloody murder at the top of my lungs. I fell out of the bed and was scrambling until my back hit the wall. My heart was still pounding in my ears as I saw it peek its head over the edge, and watched as its body slithered like oil off the bed and reform crouching on the floor. It began to shuffle closer and mouth words, trying to imitate my ex. And that drove me further into insanity. I woke up on the bedroom floor, with the carpet pattern imprinted on my cheek. While the last few days I had woken up late, I found that this time I woke up at dawn. I checked myself over, and besides some cramps from sleeping on the floor, I was fine. I called in sick and started looking into stories about nightmares and stress to see if anyone had an explanation. Sure, plenty of shrinks would tell me that I see her in a negative light, so that's why I dream of her as a hideous beast. But these dreams felt so real. I typed in all sorts of things about my nightmare until I came across this old urban legend about how there are some ghosts that feed off of loneliness and fear, with one in particular called the Dream Eater. The more I read about this thing, the more I found it to be similar to the experiences I've been having. It apparently attaches itself to lonely people, with men in particular being its victims of choice. It'll manifest in items that hold personal value until it's strong enough to just appear on its own. This was where it got scarier though, as it went on to say that once the thing is strong enough to do this without the personal totem, it's ready to feed. The process takes weeks, which chilled my blood, as I've had the feeling of cuddling with my ex for a while now. I couldn't say exactly how long I've been doing this, but it scared me witless to think I had been cuddling with this Dream Eater bastard. Some say you black out for a few days as it eats, and you don't remember a thing, while others claim you lose your life the minute its hunger becomes too strong and devours you instead of your dreams. I had one chance though, the vanity. The story said, if I could destroy the totem, then I have a fighting chance to rid myself of the Dream Eater. I dressed and practically flew to the storage place to begin dismantling that vanity, bit by broken bit, but found the storage shed unlocked and the vanity gone. I called my ex and asked her if she had the vanity, to which she said no. She told me to stop bothering her about the damn thing, and that she'll get to it when she's able to, before hanging up on me. The dude who ran the place said he didn't see anyone take it, and I had no choice but to believe him. I didn't want to take any chances, so I packed a bag and made reservations at a hotel for a few nights, so I could maybe break away from the Dream Eater. I laid down, and after a few hours of trying to relieve my anxiety and fear, I finally got some rest. I woke up, though, to that same feeling of body heat next to me. I saw the thing's hair had become greasier and ragged. Once again, the head swiveled in one motion, and the face had become worse. The skin had turned black, like it was decaying, while the eyes remained the same. The fluid from where its nose should have been took on the color of blood, as it coated its fangs once more. The lips were gone, and only teeth remained. It uttered 2 words before I knew it was over. Good night. Hey guys and ladies, thanks for watching. If you want me to tell your story or read a creepypasta, email me at the address in the description. Be good to animals, even people.
Ja, snälla, Bergsbus, Rish.